Hello and welcome back to Toys Thursday with Johnny Tiger. The date is, Thursday, August 10, 2020. Now, I probably don't need to give any introduction to this fellow in front of the camera. Uh, Anyone who been following comic book in the last 20, 30 years, 40 years would instantly recognize him as the Incredible Hulk. I'm not a big Incredible Hulk fan. For the most part, I think there's no interesting storyline, and the Incredible Hulk as a character is basically a big giant green guy with a lot of muscles and just really, 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 really dumb for the most part. And I think I like muscular characters, but I think there were definitely better representation of muscular characters that are not as dumb as, well, children. Sorry, but a lot of children are not very uh, bright. Um, anyway, move on from there. Um, but why am I showcasing this particular Incredible Hulk? This was from Marvel Legends Series 7 in the early 2000s, made by Toy Biz. I mostly got him because I needed the part of Galactus that came with him to complete building the Galactus action figure. But this Hulk is a little bit unique in that, to me at least, well, I mean, he's unique because he's kind of gray rather than green. Why is he gray? Because that's actually how Incredible Hulk was first drawn in comics. In the very beginning, he was supposed to be gray, not green. Uh, but beyond the color, this Hulk is also, to me at least, a little bit on the chubby side. And that's actually kind of rare in the action figure world. The action figure world is in many ways very, very shallow. They used to believe that female action figure don't sell because action figures are only for boys, so they didn't like to make female action figures. And then they believed that it have to be all good-looking characters, the heroes, and they wouldn't make a lot of the bad guys. So you end up with hundreds of variations of Ninja Turtle, hundreds of variations of Batman, and you don't get enough of their villains. Another thing that's really shallow about the whole action figure industry is that they seem to be really, really shy about making characters that are not body perfect. The women all have to be slender and Barbie-like and curvaceous with giant bosoms, and the men all have to have uh, perfect muscles. But not this particular Incredible Hulk. If you guys look at him, uh, his muscles are, I mean, they are there. He got big muscles, but he almost has a kind of a flabby, soft feel to him. He's not as ripped as a lot of the other Incredible Hulk has been portrayed. Just look at how poochy his stomach is, and he almost look like he got a roll of fat on the side of his belly, and his arms. I mean, you can see the muscle definition, but look at his pecs, his pectoral muscles. They almost seem more droopy and fat. It's like he got some man boob going on there. So that made him a little bit more interesting to me. I have always been a little bit more interested in action figures that are not the stereotype muscly, curvaceous kind of uh, uh, look. I like action figures are out of the ordinary, and fat action figures or chubby action figures very hard to come by actually. Uh, Even now, off the top of my head, I can maybe only name about 20 action figures ever made that were of fat characters. So I decided it would be interesting today to show you some of the fat souls in my collection. By the way, when I was a teenager, I was kind of chubby and, well, okay, I was fat when I was a teenager. So maybe that uh, maybe that's why I have a kind of a special tenderness in my heart for fat characters, fat action figures. So this Incredible Hulk is probably the only Incredible Hulk out there that kind of would be considered a little bit. I wouldn't say he's fat, but he's definitely fatter than your normal, regular Incredible Hulk portrayal. Moving on, we're going to look at our first fatso of the day. Voila! This is police detective Sam and Twitch from the Spawn comic, and they were made back in, I believe, 1995. The one on the right, the fat guy with a big gun and a donut in his hand, that is Detective Sam. And the guy on the left, the skinny guy with a machine gun, that's his partner, Detective Twitch. Giving it a slow turn so you guys can get a look at these two characters. Now, Sam and Twitch were interesting in that in a comic book filled with angels and demons and monsters and superpower beings, they were just a couple of police officers trying to get by the best they could, and they somehow became very popular with the fans. This fat and skinny duo managed to really stand on the side of good, and they were your everyday, everyman's hero without superpower. Now, since we're talking about fat action figures, we'll focus on Sam. He's actually quite well made. He's pudgy. Look at that big belly that poking out the front of his uniform, like pushing out the front of his uniform. But he's also, well, he just dropped his gun. Not good, not good. You're not supposed to drop that. Okay? How can you serve and protect the innocent when you want to drop your gun? And look at the fat on his face. That's one fat face over there, and he's got kind of a uh, balding look, scraggly hair parted on the side, and let me see if I can bring this into the focus a little bit more. He's holding a donut in his hand, a gun in one hand, and a donut in the other hand. I mean, that's just pretty awesome in a funky kind of way. Not bad for a pair of action figures made in the mid 90s. The wrinkles and details on his uniform, very well made. Look at the back. Get a look at him from behind. You can tell that this guy, even though he's a fat guy, he actually has quite a bit of strength. You can even under that uniform, you can kind of tell he has a kind of a bulging look. So he looks like he has a bit of muscle going on, especially from behind. So I guess you can say he's like a fat and strong type of character. Very cool. Next, another fat character revealed. Now, anyone who's a Batman fan, especially those who watch Batman Forever and who played the Batman Arkham Asylum video game, would recognize this guy instantly. This is the Penguin, the more famous fat bad guy uh, in comic book. He was made, I believe, in around 2010 for the Arkham Asylum uh, video game. He actually came with a sidekick that's also a really good action figure, but we are not going to look at the sidekick today. Now, the penguin is really, really quite well made here. He's got a cigar in one hand. I don't know if it's big enough for the camera to pick up. He's got his cane in the other hand. Wave to the camera and look at that respectable belly in the front there. um, he is really well dressed and pretty decently articulated. The coat, this coat he's wearing is rubbery, kind of soft, but it's attached. You can't take it off, unfortunately. Giving you a look of him from behind. What a portly, cute little fellow, even though the penguin is a pretty evil, drug dealing, murdering kind of character in the movie and in the video game. I mean, when we are talking about a comic book or a storyline with Batman and Catwoman and the Joker and Bane and Killer Croc and a whole lot of really strong, really muscular, very athletic characters, when Penguin, a fat guy, can hang with them and be a genuine threat. Chinese accent came out a little bit there. Uh, that saying something. I like that. I like that. I like when underdog, a minority kind of character, can be very distinguished and be a genuine strong character in his own right. Very nicely done, Penguin. Next up, this interesting fellow, his name is Hoof, and I'm going to bring him closer. He is from the Total Chaos series of action figure by McFarlane, made in 1994, I believe. Might be 95, but I believe it was 94. And as some of you can see, he is a heavily armored rhinoceros. Uh, he got a huge missile launcher on the top. This is actually articulated. You can move this back. And just look at that. This is I mean, a rhinoceros action figure is already pretty cool, but he is not what you would imagine a rhinoceros character would be. Usually, when you look at a rhinoceros character, they're big and super tall and wide and stuff like that. But here, this guy is a rhinoceros. He is really big, but he is short, stocky, and very fat. Look at how thick his torso is. This is just one tubby, stocky, and really sturdy action figure. He's actually quite heavy too. I mean, all those armors and turrets and guns attached to him already make him look bulky. But underneath that, look at that short little leg and round belly in the front. It's just a really interesting, a really cute little action figure. And that's why I really like the Total Chaos series by McFarlane. Because Total Chaos was not based on any comic book. It was straight from Todd McFarlane's own imagination. So basically, anything went. Anything he felt like, a wacky, short, tubby rhinoceros guy, or some wacky alien design, he could throw them in there without having to explain to anybody. I like that. It's really creative. I mean, yeah, again, this is a fat rhino guy. That's just really cool. A fat rhino guy with really high-tech armor. Yeah, really cool. But not as cool as our last display of the day. The last action figure I'm going to show you today was uh, my holy grail for over 10 years. He was also in the Total Chaos line. He was released, I believe, in 1995, and he was so well received that Todd McFarlane actually re-released him in a second edition, and then later on in the early 2000s in a third edition. Now, I wasn't able to track down the first edition and I wasn't interested in the third edition, but I was able to track down the highly valued second edition of this action figure that I'm going to show you, our last fat guy of the day. And you thought a rhino guy was cool. How about an elephant guy? Just look at this guy. This is crazy. This is a big elephant guy with a big blade in one hand and a huge hunting rifle. This rifle is massive. This rifle is almost 5 inches long and it has quite a bit of heft to it. And even if we take the weapons away from him, this is just an interesting looking character. Look at all the bones, trophies. This is a skeleton hand, and there's a whole bunch of little bones on the side. These are trophies that this guy hunted down prey and attached their body parts to his own body. This is a big fat elephant dude. Big fat elephant dude who go around the galaxy hunting down other species and taking trophies from them. I'll turn him around and you guys will see that even on his back there is a basket. He carries a basket around to hold a bunch of trophies. And you can even take these out. This is I don't know what that is. That's like an antler from some kind of thing he killed. And there's this tusk, I guess. He looks like he killed some other elephant. And then there's like a leg bone. So he's got all these trophies strapped to him. And Look at his stature. He is big and he is fat and he is proud of it. Yeah, look at that. There's a one fat elephant guy who doesn't mind if other people think he's fat because he is also very mean, very strong, and very dangerous. He is definitely up there in my top 20 favorite action figure in my own collection. He actually comes with a special display case that I am not showcasing here, but this guy actually comes with his own display case complete with LED lights inside. That's how highly valued he was. Now, if you've been paying attention so far, you'll notice that there is something lacking. We have seen some very interesting fat characters, but we have not seen any fat female characters. Maybe someday the toy industry, the cartoon industry, the comic industry will relax and learn that there's no reason why there can't be interesting fat female characters as well. We can hope. It's one more step towards equality and uh, every character, everyone gets their own fair share of the spotlight. Thank you for checking out today's Toy Thursday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Fitness Friday. For now, have fun and good night.